Hi Collective, it is Ina. I am back with another reading for you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope things are going good for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into your reading. I'm going to pull a few oracle cards and then we'll get into your tarot and we'll see what messages the Spirit has for you on today. All right, here we go. All right, Holy Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective? Messages for the collective. Wow. Okay, we have the number 16, disruption, which is the Tower. All right, we have the Sun at the bottom of the deck. It's the Sun, but that card says light on the bottom of it. We have the number 7, crown chakra. Tell us more, Holy Spirit. And then you have the Star. I'm sorry, the 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck too. Tell us more. Oh my God, these cards. We have the number 5, wisdom, and the number 7, stand your ground, which is the 7 of wands and the Hierophant coming out. We have new beginnings at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So you could be in that energy of starting something new. All right. You could also be using your intuition to guide you, as the High Priestess is at the bottom of the tarot deck. So you could be in a situation where you're standing on business with someone or something, okay? For some of you guys, this could be with family members, doesn't have to be. Or it could be with someone that you're in a connection with. Doesn't have to be, okay? Because we're just getting started. I haven't gotten into the tarot yet. But it does seem like you have some sort of strong belief. You're feeling guided to do something in particular that you believe in. And it could be different from other people. It could be maybe that you're spiritual. It doesn't have to be, but that's what I'm getting with the Hierophant here. And you are someone who's very gifted spiritually, I feel like. And you're being guided to go your own way. Like you're being guided to break away from tradition, and you're doing something to other people that seems untraditional, but for you it's traditional. Like for you it's normal, but for other people it's not. So I'll just give you an example because I'm not sure what this could be, but I'm a tarot reader. To other people that could be extremely untraditional, you know. But for me, it's normal. Like, it's just normal. That's what I do nearly every day. You know what I mean? So it's something like this that I'm getting. Stand your ground, which is the 7 of wands. You're having to stand on business, standing 10 toes down. You're being very flat-footed about something you believe in. And with the Tower card here, disruption, it's causing some imbalance, okay? It's causing friction within some sort of environment. So we're going to dive in deeper and see what it is. With the crown chakra card here, like I said, you're being guided to do something, okay? All right, Holy Spirit, tell us more here. Yeah, you're doing something that's very untraditional. Some people may even say it's unethical. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. Tell us more. All right, first card out, Ace of Swords. You have your own mind, your own way of thinking. You're an independent thinker, all right? And this is causing a problem in a specific type of environment. With the moon at the bottom of the deck is giving people aren't fully seeing your vision, or they don't completely understand, or again, if you're doing something spiritual, it's being viewed as esoteric. It's just something that most people don't have a lot of knowledge about. So it's giving untraditional, you know. It's shocking for some reason. Okay, tell us more. But you're standing for yourself. You're standing on business. You know, you're standing up for what you believe in. And really what I'm getting off this number 5, the wisdom card, like what I'm getting, and I'll just use this example of spirituality once again, because that's kind of what I'm getting with the Hierophant being here, but it doesn't have to be. This could also be you viewing relationships in a very untraditional type of a way, but it's traditional for you. You know, maybe your parents were married for 30 plus years and their parents before them were married for 30 plus years, and maybe you want to be poly, you know, and that's being viewed as untraditional. It could be something like that. But back to the example, it's like whatever it is, people are agreeing with the route that you're taking to get to your happiness. But ultimately, what you believe in and what the other people who feel like you're being untraditional believe in is the same thing. Or you guys are doing what you believe in to achieve a similar or same goal. It's just that you're doing it differently. I hope that made sense, you know? Yeah, the Magician coming out. The Lovers at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you're making a very strong decision here where you're choosing yourself and you're having to go against the grain, you know? Maybe if you're spiritual, people could be trying to say you're doing magic. We have the 10 of Cups here. This could be your family. Or, you know, I feel like it's a situation where you could possibly be creating your own family, but you're doing it in a way that is not the way your family has done it. And they want to know, like, well, why aren't you doing it how we've done it? It's worked every generation. Like, I don't know. It's giving something like that. 9 of Wands. It's like people are expecting you to do something the same way it's always been done. And you're like, well, I want the same thing as you guys, but I feel compelled to go about it a different way. That's what I'm getting. Tell us more. Yeah, and for some of you, yeah, you could really be trying to manifest a family, but you're doing it in a very unique way or a way that's different. I don't know, but that's what I'm getting. You're manifesting something for yourself. You are very focused, I feel like, on a family. Or maybe this could be someone in your energy, okay? But that's what I'm getting. That's what it's giving, all right? Gemini could be significant here, as well as like Aries, okay? We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Lovers here again, so definitely confirmation on Gemini being significant, or just air signs in general, especially since the Ace of Swords was your first card out. You've been manifesting something for a really long time, and it's been taking some time for it to come into fruition, you know, but you've been dedicated to doing this thing, whatever it is. This could even be like you've been shifting the way you view family dynamics, you know? You've been changing your perspective. 10 of Pentacles. Maybe you're making money in a way that's different from how your family does it or the people around you do it. You're making money in a different way that's untraditional. We have the World card here. So for some of you, this could be so many different things. But what I'm getting to with the World card here and the 10 of Pentacles coming out, some of you guys could be focused on your money, and maybe your family is like, well, hey, you know, I work at the plant. I retired from the plant. Your granddaddy worked at the plant. He retired from the plant. You know, 2 generations of plant workers, and we've all been very stable financially. This could be like a family member who's concerned about you having stable finances, but maybe you're choosing not to work at the plant. Maybe you want to do something online. Maybe you want to have, you know, a store online. It's like you're doing something online, but your family or the people closest to you could be viewing this as something that's unstable, you know, like you shouldn't do that. How are you going to retire from, you know, being a content creator? You can't retire from that. How are you going to start an online store? Like, you know, you can't do that. That's not going to be stable. The odds of you having a successful online business, the odds of that is so slim. You know, you can have people around you speaking like this, but you got a different view. You have like I want to say you've been getting like downloads, you know, with this crown chakra card here and the Hierophant. You have some sort of unearthly wisdom that these people don't have. You possess some sort of knowledge that these people don't have. And I feel like whatever knowledge that you have, it has or it will bring you great wealth and great success. It most definitely will be grounded. With the Ten of Pentacles here, it's quite possible that you may end up being more financially secure than anyone like in your family. Like, that's what I'm getting. Tell me more, Holy Spirit. Or if this is more like a family, like a relationship thing for you, it's like it's going to be very stable, successful relationship, more successful than people in your family. You know, maybe you're going to be happy for real and not just together with someone for financial stability, or just with someone because you guys have kids and you've been together for 15 years, may as well just stay together. It's like, no, you're going to be in a relationship where you're actually satisfied. It's actually the type of relationship you want, you know? All right. We have the Devil and the Seven of Wands. The deck cut on the Three of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. You could have had to have dealt with like people who think like this, whose thinking could be a bit more stuck than yours since you were a child. Like maybe you were born into like a toxic environment. Maybe you've always had to protect yourself. All right, we have the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And whatever this is, because I keep saying family because the Ten of Cups is here. So it's like slowly over time, you've been moving away from the family because it's like how you think and how they think, it just doesn't align. You know, you could have experienced a lot of pain in this dynamic, you know, a lot of heartbreak, just tension, you know, a lot of hurt feelings, like for no reason, a lot of microaggression, people being past the, what do you call that? People being, passive aggressive, you know. Tell us more, Holy Spirit. The Emperor. I feel like you're someone who's maturing and you're growing up. We have the Eight of Pentacles, the Judgment peeking through at the bottom of the deck along with the Four of Swords. I feel like you're someone who is maturing, or you're stepping into your own now. And your vision is challenging the people around you. It's just not the same as them. And it's a problem, okay? But it's like you don't really care. And for some of you where this is like a spiritual thing, maybe you're going into some sort of spiritual line of work. Maybe you're going to be a Reiki healer or something like that. It's like, I don't know, people just, they're viewing you as you're being rebellious, or you're going against the grain. I feel like people, they don't like it. You're causing like a upheaval, they feel like, you know. They want you to just keep doing what everyone else has been doing. You know, why are you doing something different? It's kind of the vibe. Just stick to the plan. That's what it's giving. We've always done it this way. Why would you do it any other way? You know, if it's proven to work, why change it? It's like people really trying to get you to do what they want you to do, but you're not seeing it. It's just not your vision, you know? You've stepped into your power, or you've matured, or, you know, you're following your own heart. You're following your own vision. And I feel like slowly you've been moving away from people, or, you know, this group of people. We had a Three of Swords and a Hermit. You could have been dealing with a lot of bitter people, you know, and maybe you had begun to be bitter. We have the Six of Swords here. But I feel like you could have worked on yourself. You could have done some energy work to really heal your heart from like toxicities that you've experienced from other people, or you could have healed from an addiction. Maybe you had an addiction and you healed that, you know, and you've been sticking to this too. Like, if, you know, sobriety, you've been sticking to that. Like, you're serious. You're changing, or you've changed, you know. And I feel like you were around a bunch of people who were bitter. And you could have been like finding yourself being in a similar energy, but you are moving away from that, or you've healed. Now, only take this part if it resonates, okay? But there could be someone here who could have like heart issues with their heart. They could be going to the doctor for this. Angina could be a thing. All right, tell us more, Holy Spirit. I have one more card to pull to complete your spread, and then we'll wrap up your reading. This was a quick one. Tell us more, Holy Spirit. Oh. 9 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and the 9 of Wands just popped out for you guys. I feel like you're someone who's been through a lot. You've been through a lot, and you've healed yourself. You've changed a lot. Yeah. Sword energy could be significant here. What's the Knight of Pentacles, Holy Spirit? 7 of Pentacles. I feel like you've been really focused on yourself, healing yourself over. It's taking you some time too to heal everything. We have the 8 of Swords. You could have been a person who self-sabotaged a lot. You could have you were an overthinker. And it's like you literally had to release yourself from yourself, save yourself from yourself, you know. And when you did this, when you freed yourself up mentally, you really started moving away from these. You started moving different, you know, because whoever you were around, I feel like you were around a group of people who were bitter. And I don't think that they were telling you to stay traditional because they were purposely trying to harm you. I feel like these were people trying to protect you, but they had a toxic way of being, you know, a toxic way of thinking, or they perceived the world in a very negative, pessimistic type of a way. And they were under the illusion that their mindset is what works, when for you it's not. You know what I mean? Maybe for them, what they have achieved in life, maybe that's what they want. But for you, it's like you want to achieve something slightly different. And I feel like everyone here at the end of the day wants to be happy, or at the end of the day, they want to be close to God, you know. But you're just going about it differently. You're doing what's best for you. And this is disturbing, people. What's the 9 of Wands? 9 of Wands, Holy Spirit. Yeah, you could be a business owner, you know. And this, what I am saying, could be like past tense for some of you guys that's listening. But with the Emperor here and the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like you're a successful business owner, or that's what you're becoming. Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Starting your own business here and being very successful, even though it's different from what other people are doing. It will bring you success because it's what you are meant to do. I feel like you could feel like this may be your purpose in life, whatever it is that you're doing. We have the Fool that came out for you guys. Yeah, it's like you just want a fresh start. It's like you drop the dead weight, you drop the baggage, you drop the heartache, the pain, the bitterness, the regret, you know, all those low vibrational emotions that we can feel as humans that does stop us from reaching our fullest potential. It's like you became aware of this about yourself and you changed it. Yeah. And you're starting over and you're starting something new for yourself. But it's causing an upheaval, I feel like, in your environment. What's the Magician? Yeah. The World card. And the 5 of Swords. You have the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. You guys could have felt like some of you could have been dealing with a father figure, whether it's your own father or the father of your children. Someone who could have been like very manipulative, like in a very negative way, like in a narcissistic type of a way. Someone who's very controlling and always wants to be right, you know? And they're willing to do anything to be in control of a situation. And if you were being controlled by this person before, I feel like that is no more, you know? And they don't like this. You know, and you doing this, you changing your mind, you no longer allowing other people to control you or tell you what to do is causing you to walk into a season where things are going in your favor. Like you, while you were healing or doing this energy work on yourself, changing your perspective and all that sort of stuff, you were healing. I feel like your life could have looked a bit of a mess, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune being here. Maybe things were not going in your favor. I feel like you were releasing like energetic cords that was tying you to some sort of negative karma. And sometimes we as humans, like we love and care for people and we can end up being connected to someone else's karma and it can be negative. And it's affecting your life negatively. But you being a part of that person's life is useful to them because you're helping to shoulder their negative karma. You know, so it's like your favorite cousin, right? Your favorite cousin crashed their car. This is the second car that they've crashed because they always get drunk and do that. And every day you take this person to work, every day since they've no longer had their car, you take this person to work. Now, it's a huge inconvenience for you because you got to wake up 2 hours early in order to get that person to work and make sure you can get yourself to work. That's you helping to shoulder someone else's karma, you know? So, of course, your cousin would paint you out to be the bad guy if you wanted to disconnect from them. But really, that would be in your best interest because when we do that for people, it's like enabling them. And then also it's bringing like bad karma on yourself because you're connecting energetically with this person. So you're cutting cords and disconnecting yourself from situations like this. And I feel like people don't like it. That was just an example though. Okay. Any other messages for the collective, Holy Spirit? Go ahead and wrap it up for you guys. Any other messages for the collective? We have the Eight of Swords here, okay? The Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's a sense of freedom for you. We have the High Priestess here with the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So I'll end it right there. Seems like you have this sense of freedom now. You've released yourself from self-sabotage, you know. You now listen to your intuition. Maybe you didn't listen to your intuition before because maybe you were listening to this father figure. Or maybe you were just listening to someone else who was manipulating you and would do anything, you know, to stay, like to have control over you because they wanted you to continue to shoulder negative karma with them so they wouldn't have to feel the full impact of it. I mean, think about it with that example that I had given. If you weren't there to take your cousin back and forth to work after they crashed their car, then how would they get to work? You know, you would put the burden now on them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you've set yourself free from that though, because that's a form of self-sabotage. You know what I'm saying? All right, collective, that concludes your reading. If the messages resonated with you, make sure you hit that like button. If you like my vibe, if you like the way I read energy, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, my information is in the description box. But collective, I got to go. I'll see you guys in the next one.